All right. Welcome back to another segment of Dre and Jay. Today we are going to be discussing our team's records, predictions. If you don't already know, for those of you who don't know, I'm a Dolphins fan. Dre is a 1/4 Dolphins fan and 3/4 Eagle fan. I'm just messing around, but Dre's an Eagle. But Dre's an Eagles fan, and pretty much today we're gonna discuss what we think the floor and what we think the ceiling of our teams are. Right coming up before this upcoming draft, and going into the 2021 season. So, Dre, did you want to start first?
Yeah, I'm gonna start off for my Eagles. I feel like we could go 10-7, at worst 9-8, only because that division is up for grabs. And I just feel like talent-wise, coach-wise, and just how the Eagles, run business. I feel like ain't nobody topping us this season. We've rejuvenated the defense. We added Eric Wilson at linebacker. He's a 4-5 guy, young, energetic linebacker. We have Anthony Harris in our secondary as a safety, and we still got Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham, as the anchor on our front four. So our defense isn't going anywhere. And we now know that Jalen Hurts is our starting quarterback. Although the coach says that, he's being competition with Joe Flacco, I don't feel like Joe Flacco is going to beat out Jalen Hurts for that starting position. That's another episode for another day. We have one here for that conversation. But I feel like, the running backs, we signed running back. Anyway, we signed back on the back, and we still have Jordan Howard, and I feel like our running game, along with our quarterback Jalen Hurts, I feel like have sort of like a Baltimore Ravens type impact on offense. We still got Dallas Goedert, and our receivers, we got rid of Alshon Jeffries. We have enough money to go out and get somebody who can actually, produce. I feel like 10-7, 9-8, and we get that NFC. We get that spot in the playoffs. NFC East spot in the playoffs.
Okay, very interesting. So, coming up into this draft, the Eagles have the 12th pick, if I'm not mistaken. They did a swap with the Dolphins. The Dolphins has number 6, and the Eagles have number 12. Who do you think that the Eagles are targeting at number 12? Or what should or let me say this? What position do you think?
Position wise, I don't know. I don't know.
Quarterback.
Oh, by the way, the running back that I got tongue twisted on, Boston Scott. He's our backup running back. I really like him. He's gonna be a part of our running game, so I'm excited to see that. But as far as the draft, I don't know. We might have to go out and get an offensive lineman. The reason why I say that is because I don't see any corners that's worth getting that high, other than that guy that's coming out of J.C. Horn, that's coming out of South Carolina. He's gonna be gone by the time we get to that spot. So I feel like we have a need at O-line because our O-line got beat up last year. And I don't see any other positions that we really need. Like, as far as receiver, I feel like the type of offense we're going to have, we don't have to have some big-name receiver. It's going to be more run-based with the tight ends. So I feel like we're going to get an O-lineman, like offensive lineman.
So do you think you guys are going to try to pound the rock this year to kind of take a lot of pressure off of Jalen Hurts? Or do you think...
We have no choice. It's not that like we have no choice. Like,
that's assuming he's the starter since they're holding the competition.
I mean, is he really gonna get beat out by Joe Flacco?
Nah, I'm just trolling. I'm just trolling you.
They're probably trying to light fire. They're trying to light fire under him. You feel me? Because you gotta keep them motivated not let him get complacent because he didn't have a rookie year like Lamar where he just came out and wowed people after he took over. He actually took Joe Flacco's job, by the way, Lamar Jackson. But I don't think he's gonna beat him out. But you gotta motivate him, give him something to a little friendly competition. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But I feel like we won't get an offensive lineman because we do need to, basically run it down teams' throats this season in order to be able to get to that record. I say we're,
All right. Do the Eagles have any shot of winning the division this year?
What are you talking about? I just said that. 10-8, we win the division. There's no other team. Like, look at how the Redskins do business and the Cowboys. Like,
So you think the Cowboys are gonna have a worse record than you guys this year with a healthy Dak Prescott?
Yeah.
You really think so?
Yeah. What have they done on defense? Their defense still looks crazy.
That's true.
Defense, I just named 2 Pro Bowlers on our D line. I named a linebacker that's up and coming that's gonna be a Pro Bowler going forward in Eric Wilson and Ed Harris in our secondary. And we still have the guy we got from Detroit 2 years ago, I believe. Even though DK kind of lit him up, I feel like he's just gonna come back and improve. He has a strong. I feel like our secondary is gonna play great this year. Our defense is gonna be very solid, and then we have a running game. Nobody in that division is stopping us. I'm sorry.
Tell me what you think.
The Giants look crazy.
Tell me what you think about Miles Sanders. Like, what's going on with Miles Sanders? It doesn't look like he's really living up to the hype that was around him in his rookie year. Like, what do you think is going on? Like, what is preventing him from really, popping off like the Miles Sanders that we're expecting to see? Like, what do you think it is that's holding him back?
You won't see it this year because we have a quarterback that can kind of stretch the field for him.
So you feel that Carson Wentz wasn't stretching the field?
No, like with Carson Wentz, everything was like predictable. It's like the way we were using Miles Sanders, it was like sort of as like you have to be like our savior, and I don't think that's how it should be for like a running back. And then we had the O-line issue. It wasn't fair to him. I'm surprised he did as good as he did last season, but we just got to take pressure off of him, and basically our team has to be more dimensional. Like I feel like Jalen Hurts can throw the football down the field, but if we could like do the little RPO, the run option, the run pass option, Miles Sanders is gonna be fine.
Okay. So you predicted that the Eagles are going to win their division. What do you think the farthest? Like, let's say, okay, obviously we wanted to win the Super Bowl, but what, like, realistically, if you take your predict is the highest point that they could get into the playoffs, since that you're predicting that they'll get into the playoffs. First round, second round, third round. Like, what are you thinking? Like, realistically,
NFL is a week-to-week thing. Anything could happen. I feel like we could get to the second round of the playoffs.
Do you think you can get to the divisional round?
Yeah, it's just a matter of how hot we are. Like, usually with the Eagles teams like that, we have to catch fire in the second half so that's what I'm actually hoping. Like, if we're gonna have our struggles and our growing pains, let that be in the beginning of the season, and then like we have that streak that if we go on a hot streak and we go into the playoffs, like say like a 5-game winning streak, and we got all this hype behind us, I feel like we could knock off that first team in the playoffs and possibly get to the second round. But it's all about like who's healthy, who's available, and like the situation of the team. Like I can't really say nothing because like God forbid somebody in the core of our defense gets injured, and now it's like boom, the next man up, and that guy's not ready. So I don't have us going past the second round though, realistically.
Okay.
More that needs to be done.
Okay, and you said 10-7?
10-7, yeah.
10-7.
9-8 worst. 9-8. So basically I'm saying like we go 9-8. I don't see how we go lower than 9-8.
All right. In terms of my prediction, based on the information that you provided with me, I don't think you guys win more than 5 games this season.
Yeah, you tripping. You can't just say that.
I
You're gonna
think
have
you
to explain to
guys.
me. You're gonna have to explain to me why you think that.
I feel like your defense is very unproven. I don't feel like the pieces that you named
No wonder you're lagging.
are gonna
No
be
wonder you're
enough
lagging
to get it
because you're
over the
talking
top.
bullshit. No wonder you're lagging because you're talking straight bullshit, bro.
No, honestly, I don't. I mean, I feel like Jalen Hurts is gonna have a solid season. We're gonna get a much better sample size to tell or whether or not he's the guy. But I just feel like Miles Sanders is a bust. I feel like he's just not gonna live up to that full potential that that was sought out to him. And I feel like you're overrating Boston Scott a little bit too much. When Boston Scott came in for Miles Sanders, I mean, I think I remember that one Giants game where he had a game-winning touchdown, but other than that, he was absolutely trash. And the way I remember is because I picked him up in my fantasy team.
That's your fault. That's your fault. You picked him up. You picked him up. You picked him up after he did that. But like that's your fault. The type of offense that we're gonna run, it could be the type of offense. I'm gonna tell you guys this right now. If you're playing fantasy this year, do not pick up Eagles players for fantasy because one week it might be Jalen Hurts, the next week it
Next
might be
week might be
Dallas
Joe
Goddard.
Flacco. It might be Joe Flacco.
Or
I'm just trolling. I'm just trolling.
This man tripping, but I feel like our defense with our running game, bro, ain't nobody stopping that, bro.
All right, so you predicted 10-7.
In the NFC East, at least. With the NFC East, at least, nobody. Those defenses in the NFC East, they don't scare me. Like Dallas defense doesn't.
Okay,
scare
that's
me.
fair. That's fair.
I feel like we could blow Dallas out easy in both games.
Blow them out? I don't know about all that now.
A healthy Eagles team, Dak might try to have a shootout with us. I feel like our defense is solidified. Like we have the pieces on each level. Like on each level, like we got that player that like he a hitter, you feel me? On the D line, we got two of them.
Thankfully, you're not in the NFL.
The Eagles have always had a dominant front seven.
It's
just
good
about
thing.
the offense producing. And I feel like Jalen Hurts and our running game, we can do that. And if we draft that offensive lineman, that force in the middle of the offense, bro, I don't know, bro.
It's a good thing.
The Redskins aren't that good. Like they have Chase Young on their D line, right? Other than that, who do they have? The Redskins on defense that stands out to you.
I can't really. I don't really know that team that well.
First of all, who's the Redskins starting QB next year?
It's probably gonna be Fitzpatrick. What's your point?
Gonna do to Fitzpatrick?
What are you gonna do to him? He might light y'all up. To be honest,
feast on his old ass, bro. They gonna feast on his old ass. And then the Giants, bro. The Giants look good on offense, but me and you had a video earlier where you mentioned Daniel Jones, some shit, and I was like, it's not fair to Daniel Jones because they haven't even began to build their defense. So, I don't know. I feel like it's the Eagles can literally. We need 9 or 10 games, and that division is ours, straight up. That's how I feel.
Okay.
How do you feel about the Dolphins?
So anyway, all right. So, the Dolphins' upcoming season is really in the hands of Tua Tagovailoa. If he has I'm serious. Because our defense, I know our defense is gonna show up. You got Byron Jones and Xavier Howard on the back end. That's one of the best cornerback tandems in the NFL. I don't care what you say. I feel like our pass rush has to get a little bit better because the only real way that we generate pressure is from constantly blitzing. I want to be able to get pressure from just a 4-man rush. I mean, if you can do that, then I feel like our defense is going to be crazy. But really, though, Tua has to have a much better year than last year. For those of you who've been following us, one of our first videos was talking about whether we think Tua is going to be a bust or not. And, obviously it's too early to tell, but really he has to have a much better season, and I feel like he will. The Dolphins have already went out, just like I talked about in terms of weapons. The Dolphins have already went out and got him Will Fuller, and standing right now, as of right now, they have the number 6 pick, which I feel like if Kyle Pitts is on the board, he's the best option, and I feel like that's who they're going to take. If they get a Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith, I would be happy, but I don't think it's really the best. To me, if they draft a receiver at number 6, I feel like that means one of those other guys, whether it's Preston Williams or probably Devontae Parker, is the odd man out. I feel like one of those guys is the odd man out if they draft a receiver at 6. I feel like they could get the best value if they draft Kyle Pitts.
Has Preston Williams deserved to start over Devontae Smith? Like, say he's on the team. Like, is Preston Williams who's better? I feel like
Devontae Smith, I would say is better right away. But that's what I was saying. I mean,
we could trade
one of them
for a pick.
One of them is, but you guys hear that? We could trade Devontae Parker, so he tried to flip flop sides now. Now that I'm talking facts. He want to try to switch over and be a Dolphins fan, but really though, I feel like drafting a receiver at 6, one of those guys is going to be the odd man out. I don't really know who it is, but I feel like our receiving core is a lot better than people think. A lot of people say that Tua was looking bad because the receivers were dropping balls. Well, while that is true, I mean, most of the time our higher caliber receivers, they were injured. So I mean, of course, it was trash receivers on the field. So I mean, the Devontae Parker, Preston Williams, Will Fuller, those guys, the problem with them really is that they get injured a lot. So they have to stay healthy this year. If not, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. Honestly, I feel like
right now, I got a question, Willis.
Go ahead.
Those guys are injury prone. If it happens that Tua has to be throwing to practice squad receivers deep in the season, you think he can get it done?
Do I think he can get it done? I mean,
remember how as much as people hate Carson Wentz or talk shit about Carson Wentz, he did get the Eagles to a playoff spot with not Nelson Aguilar. What's that guy's name? Fulgham, Travis Fulgham, and the likes of those guys. Basically, all of his receivers.
Yeah, I remember that. I think that was 2009. Their receiving core was looking crazy.
2019.
And he still had a phenomenal season. So I mean, I like I said, it's really it's too early to tell because, like I said, I mean, even though the receivers were dropping balls, there was a lot of times where they were open and the passes weren't accurate. Tua was kind of off mark. So remember
remember that deep pass that you had showed me one time? You was like, Tua could throw deep, and I'm like, this man has a weak arm. Like, if he throws it 2 or 3 more yards down the field, that's a touchdown. This guy, our receiver, has to almost break his neck just to catch the ball to come back to it.
You're not going to see a lot of that next year, man. This man, he's going to be back on track. I feel like he never. I'm not trying to make excuses, but when all these other quarterbacks out there, like the Justin Herberts and the Joe Burrows, when these guys were getting ready when these guys were in the offseason getting ready, to learn the playbook and get on the field and all those stuff, Tua was still in the middle of rehabbing. I'm not trying to make excuses, but you're going to see a different Tua this year. I'm willing to bet that you're going to see a different Tua this year. I feel like their ceiling is 12-5. I'm trying to make sure I don't mix up these numbers since it's an extra game. But I feel like 12 wins. I feel like 12 wins is our ceiling. And the thing that sucks is that we can very well not win any more than 7 or 8 games. We're in a situation where we were 10-6. I think there was 3 10-6 teams last year, and we were the odd guy out. So it's crazy how, we won 10 games with an extra wildcard spot and still didn't get in. So, and it sucks because we can easily win less games next year and digress, and it'll look very bad. I almost
let
would
the
have
fans
rather.
know. Let the people know whose fault it was that we didn't get in the playoffs. We should have been 11-5. Nah, actually 12-4. But Tua couldn't move the ball down the field while we stopped the best quarterback in the league for 3 quarters.
Like I said,
And
man,
he barely made it out alive against the Raiders game. We had to bring in Fitzpatrick, and then he completely choked Week 17 against the Bills.
okay, you ain't gotta remind me. I already have bad memories in my mind about that. But like I said, he's gonna have a much better season. I'm not saying it's gonna be MVP caliber, but you're gonna see a much better Tua. You're gonna see a much better Tua. It's not gonna be like that last year. But like I said, it's actually crazy because we can really have a worse record. We kind of have a little bit of a hard schedule this year. And another thing that I noticed was our defense has really got to be on point. We play some of the best running backs in the league this year. We got to face we got to who's it? We got to face Alvin Kamara. We got to face Derrick Henry. We got to face Christian McCaffrey. We got a lot of running backs that we're going to have to face this year. So, I mean, it's going to be tough. Our pass defense is spectacular. It's solid. But that run defense is really got to tighten up this year. But like I said, if our offense performed last year, I felt like we could have at least made it to the second round. I feel like this year we can make it to the second round of the playoffs. I'm obviously going to say we're going to the Super Bowl. Any fan's going to say you're going to the Super Bowl. But if I had to be realistic, I feel like we can make it to the second round of the playoffs. And, and whatever happens, it happens at that point. But like I said, just as I feel like we could get to the second round of the playoffs, we could easily only win 7 games. We were put in an unfortunate spot being 10-6. It's a good thing we had a number, it's almost like you don't want to be stuck. You either want to be really bad where you can get a high draft pick or really good to where you could contend for the playoffs. When you're in the middle, it's not good being in the middle. It's a good thing we had now we have the number 6 pick. It was the number 3 earlier. But yeah, you don't want to be stuck in the middle because you could easily digress. And that's the last thing that I want to see from this team right now. But I like the spot. I like the spot that we're in. I really do. You got 4 picks, if I'm not mistaken, 4 picks in the top 50 of the draft. We're in a really good position, I feel.
If you think that you guys are getting to the second round of the playoffs, bro, you sound crazy. We're gonna get right now. We'll
get farther than the Eagles.
So you talking about right now?
Farther than the Eagles.
Really?
Right now, what? What do you mean right now? What do you mean?
We have the best defense in our division.
That says a lot. The division winner won 6 games last year.
But we're talking about records and playoff seeding and stuff like that, right? Let's not try to be funny. The Dolphins now have to go against a high-powered Eagles offense. The Bills are still good. The Bills are gonna still, make moves to try to improve any way they can, even though they already dominated us last year. The Jets are still gonna be the Jets. Their ass. I feel like the Jets gonna just lay down for the rest of life. They're not even gonna try.
Bro, the Eagles
should be investigated.
The Eagles won't even sniff the playoffs.
The Eagles look like the best team in the NFC East right now, overall.
No. Even with the Cowboys having a bad defense and they have a really, really good offense, I think it offsets to Dallas being a much better team than the Eagles.
We'll see.
Much better.
We'll see. We're better coached. They still got that guy. What's his name? Mike, the guy from Green Bay.
Mike McCarthy as their head coach.
Mike McCarthy, bro.
If they don't do some big things this year, he could be on the way out too. So I mean it, but
They look crazy.
But I mean, like as a Dolphins fan, Buffalo is still a threat. I'm not gonna sit here and act like Buffalo's just because they got kicked in the playoffs in the AFC Championship. I'm not gonna just sit here and act like they're not a threat to us. New England. Last year they weren't that good, but I feel like this year they're gonna be right back in the thick of the playoff race. So it's gonna be pretty interesting to see what happens. But I feel like we'll still grab one of those wild card spots at the least. And I know for sure. For sure. No, but that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. Like, think about it. We won 10 games and missed the playoffs. Now you have one more game, so there could be a team that gets 11 wins and miss the playoffs. So you never really know. You never really know. But I know for sure the Dolphins are definitely going to get farther than the Eagles. Like I said, the Eagles, y'all might be lucky to win 5 games. And
you don't.
That's me. And that's me. And that's me being.
Bro, so you talking about with
and that's me being. And that's me being generous.
On the D line. You seriously believe that?
Yeah.
You know how crazy our front seven is, bro. Like we look good.
Yeah, they look crazy.
I'm not in a good way. Like, I'm talking about like we getting after the quarterback, bro. You tripping?
All right, we'll see.
Dak gonna be running. If Dak's O-line is not healthy this year, he's gonna be running for his life. We giving him hell this year. Come on, bro.
All right, well, we're definitely gonna make sure. We didn't want to make this too long, but we're definitely gonna make sure we update this throughout the season.
Yeah, we coming back next week because next week is the draft. We're gonna do a follow-up based on how our teams did in the NFL draft. We're gonna see. All right, last week we said this. How do we feel now? We're gonna know who the Dolphins pick at 6 and 18, or if they traded away for another pick. Same with the Eagles.
All right, yeah, and we're definitely gonna make sure we follow up throughout the season. Probably might not necessarily be every single week, but at least every other week we'll give updates on how our team is looking. And after Tua
has 6 interceptions in after 2 weeks, I want to know how you feel about the team.
Yeah, right. After 2 weeks, yeah, right. He didn't even have. He had what the whole season? He had 5.
Because I know that. I know that. I know.
Listen.
We asked for to air it out.
I was trying to get you to take it. I got you to take the bait. I knew you were going to say that.
I said, why won't we push the ball down the field? Like they pushed it. They said, all right, Dre, we're going to give you what you want, bro. 3 interceptions, dude.
I got you to take the bait. I knew you were going to say that. But for real, of course, I mean, when he pushes the ball down the field more, it's going to come with more interceptions. But I don't think he throws more than 12. The whole season.
I'm saying he's gonna have 6 by the first 2 to 3 weeks.
It's crazy. You crazy.
They might have to bench, bro, and put in who did we get? We picked up another quarterback. Was it Tyrod Taylor?
I don't know who you got.
Nah, the guy from the Colts.
Oh, you're talking about the Dolphins. I thought you were talking about the Eagles. Yeah, Jacoby Brissett. And Tua's winning. Tua's winning that. Tua's already been named the starter, so we ain't got to worry about no QB competition. Now on the Eagles, they got a QB competition going on over there.
You really think Joe Flacco finna take Jalen Hurts' job?
Nah, I just love trolling.
Bro.
All right, but this is gonna go ahead and conclude the introduction of our team, the every other week's teams update. Eagles fan and Dolphins fan, and then and a Dolphins fan. For those of you who don't know, we just had this joke with Dre going that he has like 5 different teams.
That is not 5 teams, bro. I also like the Seahawks. I secretly I'm in love with the Redskins. I just can't say nothing. I'm playing. Man, tripping. Anyways, guys.
Y'all about this every time.
Man, tripping.
Yeah.
I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And please follow the page Dre and J Podcast on Instagram. Love.
All right. Deuces.